So how do I play this game? I've heard that question many times now, and it's understandable because this is a complex interpretation of a very complex sport, and you're not going to be able to just pick it up and start mashing buttons and somehow win matches. You've obviously got to be a bit more involved and figure out what's going on. That's made it a lot more difficult if you don't speak English as a first language, because I'm not on translations yet, so I apologise. A lot of it's quite wordy. But anyway, to address some of these problems, I put a short video together to explain the mechanics of the game and what the point of it is. Jiu-jitsu is often referred to as human chess, which is a pretty good analogy really, because you have a set of defined positions, you're limited to the options available from those positions, and ultimately the aim is to manoeuvre your opponent into a position that they can't get out of and have to admit defeat. And this lends itself quite well to the kind of turn-based strategy game that GrappleApp is, certainly a lot better than any kind of striking martial art. So whenever you select a move, there's various calculations that go on behind the scenes to determine whether you're going to be successful or not, based on things like your energy level, your sharpness, your fitness, your skill level versus the skill level of your opponent, and I guess most importantly, the inherent difficulty of that move. So it's a lot easier for anyone to let go of a wrist than it is to do a flying armbar, for example. I mentioned energy, sharpness and fitness, and these are displayed as those three circles you see on quite a few of the screens, to give an indication of the level of each of those attributes your character currently has. These will change depending on how often or how little you train, and you'll see how they change depending on how you play the game. Try and get the balance right, try and get maximum energy and maximum sharpness before you compete. Let's talk about the option chooser screen now. This is the main screen of the game really. So you find yourself in a position, you've got your options around that position. And the first thing I want to talk about is what happens when you just press anywhere on the screen, some empty space, and hold your finger down. You'll see the display change. This will show a lot more information about the options that are available to you. You'll see the percentage values on each node. That percentage value is the inherent likelihood of success of that move. So if it's 100%, it will always work. If it's let go of a wrist, no one can stop you doing that. It's going to be 100%. If it's a flying triangle, it's going to be much lower percentage than that. The nodes are color coded, so between kind of red and green. The more red the node is, the lower your skill is for that move. And the last thing is the kind of arc around that node shows how much energy you're likely to burn up by doing that move. If you press the center node, this will basically skip a turn. This will allow you to rest and regain some energy. This doesn't always work. It's only in positions where you're not under a lot of pressure. So if you're trapped in a triangle, you won't benefit from skipping a turn. The best thing to do is actually try and escape. Whereas if you're just kind of caught in side control, you can take a breather. Occasionally you'll see there's a green circle around the center node, and this indicates that the position is symmetrical. It means you can choose which side to attack from there, and to do this you just press the node and swipe left or right, and it will then attack in that particular direction. This doesn't really add anything to the game other than allowing you to do the moves as you would want to do them. It's still the same thing underneath, it just means that you can apply your own game to it. If you find that you want to skip a match but not necessarily submit, you can swipe right on the screen and the game will just choose the moves for you in an automated way. You can swipe again to make it do that faster. If you do actually want to quit quickly, you can tap out anytime, just 3 taps on the screen. If you're in competition, that will lose you the game. If you're enrolling, it will just end the round, and if any other training, it will just stop the training. How do you get better? How do you skill up? How do you get promoted? The way it works is, for every successful move you execute, you will get a skill boost for that particular move. there's a lot of factors around this. The main one being the skill level of the opponent you've done it against. So if you manage to armbar a black belt, you'll get a much bigger boost than if you just do it to a number of white belts. Also, some of the gyms charge differently per session. The better gyms will give you more of a boost overall. So it's a balancing act as to how you want to play it. Do you want to spend more early and gain quicker, or do you think you can manage on a tighter budget? There's so much more I could say, really. There's so many little details that I've put into the game over the years that are so subtle that they'll probably only ever interest me, so I'll spare you that. I'll leave the video there for now. But if you do have any questions, then do get in touch and I'll see what I can do. In the meantime, thanks for playing. I do appreciate it, and see you next time.